Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Actually, if you want to use ChatGPT, just search ChatGPT on Google, and you will find the OpenAI website. So click on the OpenAI website. Just click on try ChatGPT and sign up if you don't have any account on ChatGPT, and then I already have my own account on ChatGPT, so I will directly log in. So you can log in with a Microsoft account or a Google account. So I use a Google account to sign up, so I will log in with. So that's it. So I clear up all the conversation here in the left side, so we can have a clean environment for work. So let me explain a little bit. You can use ChatGPT for free, basically, but sometimes the website just shut down, and you can for a few minutes can access to ChatGPT. You what the best thing to do if you have the money and you can subscribe to their price to the paid tool is to pay $20 per month to upgrade your account, so you can avoid this troubleshoot. I think that you can also get stopped by the number of requests you are sending actually to ChatGPT by hour. So I think in 1 hour you will be limited. So basically that means that if you send a lot of requests in 1 hour, you will actually need to wait a little bit to be able to send another request. So basically, when you create a new chat, each time you create a new chat, they save the conversation here in the left side, and you don't need to worry about all the response you are getting. You are getting actually from ChatGPT. You don't need to copy and paste each time you get a response or you get something from ChatGPT. So basically, you will have all your conversation store here. So but you actually need to log in each time to see this conversation. So basically, the goal of this tutorial is that I want to so we will just create a basic software, a basic app with ChatGPT using React.js and Node.js. So the main goal here for me is to get better at React.js with TypeScript. So I already, as I say, work on a React.js with TypeScript project, but um, in my point of view, I need to work on some more project to get the same experience I have actually on Angular. So I already know about .NET Core and also about Node.js, but for this tutorial, I will just uh, assume that I don't know anything about Node.js and anything about React.js. So what we do here is that we will we first start with the Node.js environment. So the best way to do, because I assume that you and me don't know anything about all these language, we ask ChatGPT. So I want to create a we asked ChatGPT how to create a Node JS and TypeScript API. So let's ask the question. So how to create a Node.js API using TypeScript. Sorry, let's write correctly the question. So how to create a an API using Node.js and TypeScript. So actually, the chat is giving all the steps to create Node.js TypeScript API. So that's it. So as you can see, the conversation is automatically saved here, and the chat, as you can see, ChatGPT gives all the steps you need to know, all the steps you need to go through to create a Node.js API. So first, you need to download a Node.js uh, Node Mac Windows, and then you will need to create a new project. Create a new project directory and initialize all the Node.js projects using the command npm. You need to download Node.js and create a new project. Create a new project directory. So all we do is we will create directly a new project directory. So we will create a new project directory. So we say uh, to do uh, React Node. And also, I will create a new repository. So we open a new command line interface here. So just hit CMD before the path and click on enter. So you will get actually a command line prompt to this from this directory. You will get a command line prompt from this directory. So next, the chat is saying, so let's make this little bit small, and I hope that you are actually seeing the chat. So to make things easier, I will split the screen. So here the chat is saying that then you will need to run this command. So we say npm init. So npm init. So that will create actually the touching is not explaining all the command here, but basically I will explain it. So the chat is saying that you will need to run this command that will create a package.json file inside the repository, inside the directory. So actually that's saying npm, this utility work through creating a package.json file. So here you will need to give a name. So here the package is not saying what to do. So you can, so when you run the command, uh, you can actually read what is written here. So you say this utility will work you through creating a package.json file. It's only cover the most common item and tries to get sensible default. So here we give a package name. So the package name we will just hit enter to keep this name. So enter, and we keep also a version. So that will be actually the version of your software, and the description of your software. So we say our to-do list app, and the entry point will be index.js. So we change this later because we want to use TypeScript actually. So let's enter and enter also, enter, and it is okay. Just tap yes, and that's it. Actually, that's generate a file called packages, and so this file will if you don't know, assume that you are alone and you don't have someone like me explaining what is like. So you can ask ChatGPT what is you can say, okay, you can create a new chat, sorry, and you can ask ChatGPT what is the package dot what is a package.json actually? What is a package.json? So you can see a package that is a file that is used in Node.js project to manage project dependency and configure configure dependent and configure is typically located in the root directory of project and content metadata as well. So you can ask a bunch of a bunch of question to ChatGPT, and you will get all the answers. So basically, I know what chat a package that JSON is. So the main thing you need to get from this response is that the package doesn't help you to manage all the project dependencies, so all the other library you need to install on your projects. And okay, you also have all the information we are just given on the command line interface. So the project name, the version, the author, etc. And file used by package manager npm. So we use npm init to create this file to install all the required package and their dependency and single commands. It makes it easier to manage and share Node.js project. So basically, all the free library and also paid library are pushed to GitHub and npm, and watch this package, the package design, just refer all the package you want to use on your project, and by just running npm install, we basically install all this library. So you can ask a bunch of questions in the opening the chat open here. So we get back in the first chat, and like I said earlier, so when you will run this command, you will actually have all this package installed on your project. And as I say, all this dependency will be automatically specified in this file. So you can actually see this what this file look like. So if you have a Visual Studio Code, so assume that you don't know what is Visual Studio Code. So we say, okay, which code editor can I use to open my project? So which code editor can I use to open my project? So say basically you can see that the chat is providing the list. So chat provided the list. So you will need to you need to install Visual Studio Code. I already have Visual Studio Code on my machine, so just install Visual Studio Code. So I will just open a new Visual Studio Code Windows, and we say desktop, and we say to do React, and we select the project, and you will see that the project is open here. You see that the project is open here. So just um so the package design is here. So uh, rather than opening a command line here, this is because I know that we will just close this command line here to make everything easy to use. So just click on terminal and click on new terminal. So that will actually open the command interface we close actually open the command interface we just closed, and open it here in directly in Visual Studio Code. So what you will do after that is that you will run all the command the chat gives you here. So copy here and uh, paste and click hit enter. So as you will see, the command the all the dependency are installed and specified here. So you can see that the chat installed all these dependencies. So basically, this is what we get. And then the chat is saying that write TypeScript code, create a new file app.ts in the in the project directory, and add the following code. So Uh, there is something the chat is not saying actually, and that's a little bit okay. Let's say we let's continue because I assume that the chat is know what is. So that's it. So basically, what we will do is that as the chat is saying, we create a new file. So we create a new file called app.ts, and we will copy and paste the code here. So as I say, as the chat say, copy and paste. So as you can see, that basically you don't have any error. So the code is very clean. I assume that we have an error here, something is wrong. So uh, you get a warning here. You have an error. So the code is very clean. So let's pass everything here. And this, as you can see, this code set up a basic Express server that listen or for 3000 and it respond with hello world when a get request is made to the root endpoint. Compiled TypeScript code to compile TypeScript code to JavaScript, run this command. So the chat is saying compile the TypeScript code. So we will do what it is asking for. We compile. So we run this command, and so I don't know what is that actually. So we will just run this command, and I say okay, this will create a this folder with the command compile JavaScript. So basically we don't have this folder, so we can say there is an error. So basically we have an error. So I just saying that I assume that I don't know anything basically about this, but I think there is something wrong with the chat because the chat didn't specify to create a tsconfig file. So the tsconfig file is a file that will help us uh, compile the TypeScript code inside into the JavaScript code. So basically, the chat missed something, and what you can do here is that okay, uh, we can grab some error here. We don't have any error, so we can say okay, command. So as you can read, so the code is saying okay, command. So compile the current project, tsconfig file in the working directory. So we don't have any tsconfig file. The chat didn't specify that. So okay, ts app.ts in your build a composite project in work this directory. Sorry. So we can grab one of these command and run it. So we say run it this command. So error cannot read a TS file. So let's say that okay, we copy this and paste here. And so as you can say, the chat is resolving the issue for you. So the chat is saying okay, the the error message usually indicate that the TypeScript compiler is unable to find the tsconfig file. So because the chat are missed here the tsconfig file, and here I think it will provide you the way to uh, actually generate this file. So let's see. So as I say before, you will need to install the TypeScript here. You will need to install TypeScript. So the child is saying okay, install TypeScript, but the child is not providing the actually the command. So we say okay, not sure about the issue with the file. You should be able to compile your TypeScript code. So check if the file exists. So the chat is saying that you need to check if the file exists. So uh, the chat didn't provide anything about this file, and that threw me a little bit. So, but anyway, so we say ts init here to init the file. I think the command is here. So initially TypeScript project and create a tsconfig file. So could not result path in it. So yes, I think this is uh, an option to say. So the tsconfig file is created. So as you can see, you can run again this command to build the project. And as you can see, the project is built. So the TypeScript file is compiled into a JSON file. So this is a little bit awkward because generally the the ChatGPT don't miss this kind of step. But I assume that you will get an error and you will ask ChatGPT. So the chat actually okay, you are missing this file. So basically, I already did run this command yearly before because I use regularly TypeScript on my machine. So this what this command does. This command install TypeScript on your local machine, and you after running this, I assume that you will try to run again this command, and you will get another error, and you will pass here, and the chat GPT will guide you to run this command I run here. So basically, don't worry about that. If any step are missed when you ask something about ChatGPT, I think by running through error, you will have issue. You will just copy and paste the issue here and ask ChatGPT to help you, and you will get some help for ChatGPT. So basically, we continue. So the other step is to start the server. So finally, start the server by running the following command. So let's run this command. Okay. So we have an error. So module not found. So cannot find module dist. Okay, basically because we have dist, but the dist here, I see that, but if you don't see that, you can ask ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT will answer the same as me. But let's try. Let's try. Okay, let's see. Let's say you don't see that the app.js is not generated in a folder called dist here. Where you will pass your error here, and the ChatGPT will explain why you have this error. So usually indicate that Node.js is unable to locate the specified module. So that whether you can try following this step. Check the field path. So basically, this is your answer, your response, your answer. So to resolve the issue. So basically, in the first step, the chat is saying that you will need to answer to check the path. So what we do is to run again the command and say, okay, sorry guy, okay, remove here dist, and run again your command, and you can see that the server is running up 3000. So that's it. We have our first server with TypeScript. So the next step is that we have a file called app.json, and as you know, if you know a little bit about coding, or you have a little bit of coding skill, you will know that you will need to create a better structure for your project. So a better structure is that where we will put which folder we will create, give our which folder, and how we will organize actually. A better scripture means that we will need to organize our folder and our scripture. So because I assume that you don't know anything about coding, basically, so you don't know about what is a controller, what is a root, what is a a middleware, thing like that. So I will not explain this complex stuff, but I will just make the code run actually. So we will maybe explain it in uh, other video, or you can just, if you already know about that and you want to go further, you want to go you will basically need to watch other tutorial or watch my tutorial actually. I have more advanced tutorial about Node.js API. So what we will do then, so as the code, so the last step was there. So it says this will start. So we have some trouble, but basically the chap give us the way to uh, uh, create a Node.js app in less than maybe 25 minutes. The old way, I mean, not the old way, because I think a lot of people just keep using Google, and me also, I keep using Google. I don't use ChatGPT all the time. I use ChatGPT for specific stuff, sorry. And the old way is to go to Google and find a blog, a tutorial that will help you go to this step. And I assume that maybe in my point of view, for some type of answer, for some type of question, Google is more better than ChatGPT, and for other type, ChatGPT is better because when it comes to missing some step like this one, ChatGPT miss a step about not knowing. Basically, ChatGPT can know a lot about you and your project, so you need to give him a lot of information. Like, okay, I have an error. You don't know about. You don't know if you have TypeScript already installed on your machine. Sorry, on your local machine. You don't know a lot of things about you, so you need to, as you are following all these steps, give him all the information. And the difference about ChatGPT, and this is actually the difference, because in a tutorial, when you find a tutorial, the tutorial, you need to know if the tutorial actually meet your need. Meet in the tutorial, the author is saying that, okay, you are a complete beginner and you don't know anything about Node.js API, your local environment is not set up, and things like that. And if you don't know, so you will find this tutorial and you will keep having some error. But if you find the right tutorial that meets your need, actually, that will be a lot more faster, and some of the steps will not missed actually by an author who have a more experience on coding. So basically that's it. And so we have our server running. So I say before that we want to ask ChatGPT what is a better structure for a Node.js API. So give me please a better um, project structure to use. Okay, so we will wait. So the name, here we have the name of the project, and the dist folder will be where the the code will be compiled. So here we directly compile all the project here, but it's not actually the good way to do. The good way is to uh, specify a the RGS, because I know that if you don't know that, this is something that will generate issue, and you will need to actually ask ChatGPT basically what is the step project. Do I need to create this project? A thing like that. So basically, what you need to do is to specify this one like this and stop the project and run again at yes. So that will generate this folder directly for you, and all the source code will, all the compiled code will not directly generated inside your root project. So that's it. And so as you can see, the chat give us a lot of information about what we need to do, and what we need to do here is to just create all the info. So basically, we don't need all this information. So this is, I create all that, but this is basically when you reach a, you have a better experience and you are actually coding a better, a real life project. So basically, we will keep our I will keep our appts, and we will work inside this folder. Basically, I just want to show you how you can use ChatGPT to learn a new framework and language, and also be more productive at work. So it could be any project at work you are any project you are working actually any project you are working on actually at work, and you can just, if you are so yes, if you are, if you are allowed to use ChatGPT, because some company I think don't like to have their really don't want to have their engineer share information with ChatGPT and sensitive data with ChatGPT. So basically, we will not create all this folder. We'll just keep our app.ts that will build as we go, and we will just keep everything like that. So we, the next step. So we say that our app goal is here is to create a to-do app. So we say, okay, ChatGPT keep all the information and apply all the information to your new question. So you need to keep that in mind. So we say that ChatGPT, I wanted to create a to-do list app. So give me for my API all the step and source code to, so here we say that for my API all the steps and source code to implement that. So basically the chap is giving away again all the previous okay, because I was wondering what will be the way we will start, what will be the strategy to start our to do task. So basically the ChatGPT give us all the information to update our, to create a NoSQL database. So As you can see, the chat are generated all the root, but also all the controller to store all the to-do list inside the database. This is good. Actually, this is the best way to do it, is to create a NoSQL database and store all the information inside. But for this tutorial, we just ask, okay, I don't want to use any database for this. Can you, we should add, can you update the code? We say, can you give us, I don't, because here, as you can see, the last controller is not finished. So we say, I don't want to use I don't want to use any database for this. Can you provide, can you update the code? The only the code and with, okay, yes. Give, as you can see, the chat give us the rest of the code, so we just copy again and paste. So we can we can build the project again. So the project is built, sorry, and now we'll just start. So we will start using this command. So we say the old command, this app.js, and as you can see, the server is running. So we make some tests. So I open Postman and I will try to make some requests. So basically, if you don't know about Postman, go to Postman, go to Google to see how to basically you can just watch this video. So you need to put the request here, the request URL here. So uh, that's saying the request here, you can find it here. So it says server start at local 3000, and the first endpoint is the get endpoint, so the API to do so. All the endpoint will be this test here. So we can see that to get all the to-do list is you will just add following the API URL. Just add this endpoint, and because here we have app.get, so we choose get request. Here we need a get request, and we send our request. And as you can see, we have an empty body because our to-do list is empty actually. And then we will now we will try to post a to-do list. So we will say, okay, this is the same, but here this is now a post request, like the chat was specified here. So we want to send a body. So to send a JSON body, basically because we have a REST JSON API, we need to say choose the raw radio button and then change this value here to JSON, and then specify a title and say, okay, this is our title, and say build a to-do list and send. So here you can say, okay, one build a to-do list, and that's it actually. And run again. Okay, you have two id build a to-do list. So if we try to get now, what we will have get to do. So we have two data inside. So as you can see, we have two data inside. We already have our JSON So what we will do here is that we will also then test the update. So we want to update something. So we will update a to do a task. Sorry, so we will update a task. Let's update a task here. So we choose the first task, sorry, and we'll grab this body, and then we'll say, okay, JSON will remove this text boolean, and we'll remove also the ID. We will keep the ID and say a to-do list updated, and send again. As this is a put, so as you can see, yes, so the put, so you can specify the ID here, and because here you have a parameter called ID, so you can change your parameter to one to say that we want to update the task one, and I have changed the body and complete this sentence and add updated. So as you can see, if you resend again the request, so as you can see, the to-do list is updated, the task is updated. So you can also try to delete, so you can test this out. So you can just change your request here and test everything out, and that's it. So basically the next step is that we will create our React.js application with Redux, because I already know, but you can actually ask ChatGPT what is the better way to create a React.js application. So for the React.js app, what we will do is that we will actually ask ChatGPT how to init a React.js project application, and also how to create our to-do application, our to-do front-end application. So what we will do is that we will ask ChatGPT how to do so. So we will assume that you do a little bit of research about React.js, and you watch some tutorial on YouTube to get started on React.js, and you actually know about this framework that's called Create React App. So Create React App is a framework that will help you get rid of all the small all the annoying configuration you need to do actually, and we will ask ChatGPT to use Create React app, to generate a React.js application. So we ask ChatGPT the question. So we say how to create a React.js app, React.js with TypeScript application using create React app. So we will first install create React app. So we say we open a command line. So basically, you need to open a command line. Just type cmd and run this command. And then we need to go to the project actually. So we say that we want to move this project. We want to create two repository, and we'll move everything inside. We reorganized our project directory. So let's get inside the project. So we say remove everything inside API here. So everything is moved to API, and then we will create a new folder called uh, front end. So we say front end, and in this we open. So we open. We use the command line directly inside this, the terminal directly inside Visual Studio Code, and we say, okay, next, we say npx create React app, my app, and we say, okay, we specify the template to say that we want this app in React.js. So let's actually delete this folder and move back and copy and paste this. No, sorry, not this one, but this one. Just copy and paste and change the name. So we will call the app front. So this is all the step to create React app is running. So actually, if you have any question again, don't forget to ask this question ChatGPT. So as you can see, the React application is generated with the framework, and the next command to run is to cd the app. So you need to actually go in, place the terminal inside the API application, and run your command npm star. And as the statute says, so you should launch your application in your default browser at localhost 3000. So basically, the localhost 3000 will be directly opened here inside this browser. So we will wait for the build to finish. So as you can see, the application is started, and you can see the website here. So this is what you get basically. So what we will do is that the next step is we will ask ChatGPT so to provide with us a way to create a to-do list. So this interface, and I want a a CRUD a form module. So how can we ask ChatGPT to do that? So what we say that so I want a CRUD module that will a CRUD mobile of yes a CRUD feature I got this interface and I want a create feature inside my React app. So the chat is providing actually the source code. So what we will do is that we will stop generating the code and we say okay, an API running running in this location. So we'll say okay, running in this URL in this URL. So we have the same part as the front end. So we will basically change the part later. So do it now to not forget later. So inside the app.ts, we will change our part to listen to the part 3001. And if you forgot this part and you got an error, you can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT would help you manage this one. So you say, okay, I have an API running in this URL, running, and the URL is running, and the URL is okay, and provide a app a txx file. What should we do? What should we do? So I'm wondering how we can implement this. So we say okay. Yes. So what we say that we will say okay. Can you update the app.tsx file to help us? Okay. So I have an API and the URL is local. So can you update the app.ts file to help me create a simple to do list using the interface. Okay, I have an API running and the URL is localhost 3001, and I say can you update the app.ts file to help me can you the to create okay we will remember to help me can you update the ability to create a simple to-do list using the interface, and what should we specify again? I think that's it basically. And we ask the chat to provide the source code. Sure, here is an app.ts file that fetch data from an API and display a list of to do using the interface. So basically you have your code. So basically that's it. Just copy this code and paste the code here. And so here we have the to-do interface. Basically what you need to do is to create the interface. So we say directly we'll create a folder that we will call interface. So we say folder interface. So basically you should not create a folder structure like that. But when you have a real life project, you basically can ask ChatGPT to provide with you the best project structure to use, and basically the chat will create an arborescence of directory and files that you can follow to basically start your real life project. So here I just showing how you can use ChatGPT to learn coding and be more productive. So basically that's it. So we say a folder that called interface, and inside we create a new file called to do dot interface dot ts, and we will paste the same interface I mean, yes, the same interface, sorry, from here. Let's say export interface to do, and then we should update the import like this. And remember that we didn't start ourselves, so we say to the chat that we start our API, but we don't start our API. So what we should do here is we should basically run our API. So we change the path. So now that we change the path, what we do is that we will run our project. So run, if you remember, I think this was JS Node app.ts. Yes. Okay. Basically, you need to place the terminal inside the API, and again the API. And so the API is running in this the API start at this URL. So basically you need to change the URL a little bit, and that's it. So reload again, and because we don't have any, I think we don't have any to-do list right now. We are not getting any to-do list right now. So what we should do is the list is empty. So we'll say, okay, the list is empty. Can you update the app.ts is to with a form to add the to add a task, sorry, and also refresh the list of tasks. Refresh the list when a task is added. So the list is empty. That can you update the app.ts with a form to add a task, and also refresh the list of tasks when a task is added. So what we say, so we provide the URL, the right URL to the chat. So we say the URL is localhost 3001 if you have to do, and the method, we say the URL is, and the method is post. So the chat will update again our app.ts file. So you can just copy the code and, paste again. So what we will do is that, yes, we will copy the code and paste again. But don't forget that you need to import, you need to update to import here, and the site will actually, the app will actually refresh. So that's it. You have a simple to do list. So you can say coding task, and that's it actually. It's a coding task one. That's it, guys. I can go a little bit far with this, but that's up to you. Actually, I wanted to show you how you can actually use ChatGPT to learn coding. So basically, here what you can do is that you can also ask the chat to uh, be, now that we have our list updated and we have our a form to add a list, the chat to help you update a task. So basically, you can the chat will provide an icon. When you click on this icon, you can basically update the task. And also, you can also ask the chat to provide some CSS style to design a little bit this your application, and we do that in less than, I mean, 1 hour. So that's cool. So this is how you can use ChatGPT to learn coding or be more productive at work. So basically, if you have some issue at work and you are actually going through Google search and everything, and you don't find anything on Google, so get back to the chat and copy and paste. If you are actually allowed to share your work information with chat, copy and paste your issue on the chat, and ask the chat to help you, and the chat will provide some step and everything you can actually test to get your issue resolved. So basically, this is what you can do, and you can a little bit, you can ask anything the chat. We will stop here, but you can go far with this. You can try bunch of things and have a great tool here. So basically, you can do a big. If you have the image, if you have an idea, you can code everything with ChatGPT. As I said, I think if you have a lot of requests, basically, you need to upgrade your account. But yes, now with this tutorial, I just use the free account if you don't want to use ChatGPT every time. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you in another tutorial. So yes, I also forget. So guys, I'm also recording a whole coding session of a software as a service using Angular and Node.js, but I will also pick another project after this project and use React.js and Node.js. So don't worry, guys. I will also code in React JS in my channel, and you can basically learn how to build a software as a service, using React.js and Node.js, and also Angular and Node.js, because Angular is a great framework also that have a good architecture, and you can basically use Angular to build uh, good application. Yeah. So basically, some maybe uh, great company are actually using Angular, like finance company, bank, and insurance. A lot of company are using actually Angular. So don't put Angular on behind. You can actually use Angular, and at the end of your journey, you will have a better understanding of the framework, but also TypeScript, because Angular exploit a lot that script more than React.js. But yes, React.js is also a good deal to start coding, but also to have more resource online, more community, more more open source package, more open source dependency. So this is why you can actually code faster with React.js because the community is a lot more bigger. So that's it. But that's coming also on Angular side. So don't worry about Angular. You can actually use also Angular to build good projects. So see you guys later and bye.